Hello there, people of hyperspace. My name is Davontos, and it's time to get hyped because this is some beastly gameplay in the map Gauntlet in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, you see here, I finally have my Dark Matter camo. This is actually the first game I've played. Once I acquired that epic Dark Matter camo, the grind is finally over. So, there's a few things I want to talk to you guys about. Recently in these supply drops, we've got a couple of new things. Some new weapons, some new guns, melee weapons, taunts, clothing, and all that fun stuff. Now, the thing I actually want to focus more in this commentary are the weapons. Now, before in the past, Call of Duty used to offer these DLC weapons for paid DLC. Like, say, for example, you put down $2 and you get yourself a new submachine gun. So, apparently what they're doing now is you use COD points. COD points or crypto keys. But let's say, for example, you put $10 in COD points. I don't know how much that's going to get you, but it's going to get you a couple of rows in the supply drops. You spend money on COD points, and you start gambling up to see if you get these new weapons. Now, I see where they're going with this. Now, it could be a good thing, and it could be a bad thing. Now, if you want to spend, let's say, for example, $5 in COD points, and you wind up gambling, and you get, let's say, the new Ranch, or the new assault rifle, which is the MX Garand, which is basically a remake of the M1 Garand from World at War. So, if you gamble and you get this cool stuff for $5, that's pretty good. But the downside is spending money on the COD points. It's a huge gamble because there are so many things you can actually get from these supply drops. Now, I left a video a long time ago called Crypto Keys versus COD points, and I was kind of deciphering which one is better. And I personally, I think crypto keys are way better than COD points because all you gotta do is play to get the crypto keys and then just use the crypto keys and the supply drops. So with this COD point thing that's coming in, it's kind of like, you know, giving you a better shot to get it because you can technically put as much money as you want for as many rolls as you want. But, I mean, the downside is you basically just gotta pay for something that you can easily just play and get for free. It'll take a little bit of time, but you'll still manage to get it. So, it kind of has me wondering, is this how the game is going to continue its DLC? And if it is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? It kind of goes both ways. The way I see it, it can be a good thing because you can literally get all of the DLC weapons by just playing multiplayer and stacking up on crypto keys. But it's a bad thing because it's still kind of leaning to that pay-to-win aspect. Because let's say, for example, you know, some dude has a good job and he winds up dropping like $300 worth of COD points and he just keeps spamming them lottery tickets and he keeps spamming them supply drops and he gets like every single weapon in the game from the supply drops, all the melees, all the camos, all the characters. Well, characters and camos don't really matter much, but like all the melee weapons and all the new guns, because he spent like $200 in COD points, while somebody who, let's say, doesn't have a job, or maybe somebody who doesn't want to spend that much money, they have to continue playing and grinding for these crypto keys so they can get this shot at getting a new weapon. Now, it's a win or lose aspect, but it's not as bad as it was in Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare was terrible. But the way they're doing it here, it can be a good thing or a bad thing. It just depends on how you look at it. Now, as far as I've seen with these weapons, the melee weapons don't really have much difference. I mean, you got the sword, the wrench, the crowbar, but they all function like the combat knife, so that's not really a big deal. I mean, it's basically a skinned combat knife. But you got guns like the M1 Garand and the, I think it's called the Ranger? It's like a pistol shotgun, like, I forgot the name of it. But the M1 Garand is basically the Shiva, or the MX Garand. It's basically the Shiva that shoots faster with less ammo. I believe it has an 8 magazine capacity, and the fire rate is a lot faster than the Shiva. So, if, let's say, for example, enemies are using the MX Garand, and I don't know how good it would perform, because I personally don't have it. But if the MX Garand would outperform the Shiva because somebody has a really good trigger finger, and the MX Garand becomes one of those overpowered weapons, that means it's kind of leaning towards that pay-to-win aspect. While the other players are stuck with the slow-shooting Shiva, they're easily going to be outmatched. It's kind of like a weird gamble, but hopefully the MX Garand and that shotgun pistol isn't so overpowered, or is either really balanced, or it's just like a weapon you can use, but it's just not that great. Now, the weapon I have seen is the new crossbow, the Black Shadow Claw, I believe it's called. Now, that crossbow's a little iffy to me. I can see it's a one-shot kill with a non-explosive bolt crossbow. The fire rate seems relatively quick for a crossbow, but the downside is the range isn't that bad. But the benefits are you're gonna remain silent, unseen off the map when you fire, and the fire rate is kind of quick for something that's a one-shot kill. We're talking about like maybe Seraph's Annihilator, that kind of fast fire rate, maybe a little bit faster. So, I mean, what if everybody like masters that crossbow and you got the entire enemy team who's using that crossbow? I mean, I know the odds of this happening is like very, very slim, but it's kind of not seeming fair. You see where you see where I'm going with this. So I'm saying, like, I think the COD points, to me, I think it's a bad idea, but you know, if it gives the company money, continue, go ahead and do it. Crypto keys, obviously, that was part of the game. Why not continue? So I think what they should do is, at least with the DLC weapons, just to keep it fair, they should have those weapons available in the store, PlayStation Store, Xbox Live, whatever store you're shopping in. I feel like they should have those weapons in the store to purchase for, let's say, like $1.99 or Stone, however much wherever you're from, however much it's worth. I think they should have it available in the store. That way you can just instantly purchase it whenever you want, and you know, you'll have it from there. That way you'll have the guys who just want the weapons, and they'll purchase it straight from the store. Because, I mean, basically it's Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is all about the weapons. Now, when it comes down to like things like the taunts and the character customizations, that stuff you can just leave in the black market. Not really that great. And same thing for the melee weapons. The melee weapons aren't that great. They're basically just reskinned knives. So that I understand to have straight from the supply drops. But if it's something that's game-changing, like DLC weapons, I do feel like it's more fair to have it in the supply drops and also available in the PlayStation Store or Xbox Live, whatever store you're shopping at. Now, even if they put it in the store, it's still leaning towards that pay-to-win aspect, but it's not as risky as it would be in the supply drops. So, I mean, if you put down $2 and you buy the submachine gun or new gun, you're guaranteed to get it there. Now, if you, let's say, put $2 in supply drops, you're not having as large of a chance to get it as the guy who dropped $50. You see where I'm going with this? Like, it's leaning to the pay-to-win, but it's a lot easier to just put it in the PlayStation Store because you eliminate that huge risk of the gamble and you're guaranteed to get it on the spot. And this also has me thinking, with that 10th specialist, that mystery character who appears in Gauntlet, like that little hint that we get, if that character does wind up coming out, which I'm pretty sure they're going to launch him or her soon, is it going to only be available through supply drops? Or is it going to be a character that we can just purchase from the PlayStation Store? I find it a little bizarre for it to be available in the supply drops, because one, how's the black market guy going to actually get a person to fit in a crate? And two, it's going to be game-changing. What if this specialist is too overpowered, and the only way you can get it is through the supply drops, and it heavily leans to that pay-to-win aspect? It's just something to think about, but that's the end of the gameplay here. If you liked it, punch that like button with a mighty force. You can follow me on Twitter at DavontosMan, or Vine Davontos, and as always, I'll see all of you in my next video. Have a nice day!